Nowadays, modern day culture it's degenerate. It's anti-family. It's anti-men being traditional, looking after those they care about. It's anti-women looking after themselves. Modern day culture is such a terrible place to find that dogma, that guidance for life. But yeah, that's a good point. Once you break people out of the matrix, what do you give them? Well, you can see there's a direct correlation between the more free and liberal a country is and the higher divorce rates. When we have divorce rates, we have single-parent families. And statistics clearly show the issues that come from single-parent families. More likely to end up in jail, more likely to die at an early age, more likely to have learning issues as children. Yeah. And then also, I've done a lot of reading on this, there's a direct correlation between the more liberal a country is and the more people live, not use, but live on antidepressants.
Wow.
Again, do we really want to pretend that this progressivism, this modernity is making people happy? And I said this in the Vice documentary, and I believe they tried to frame it as me being misogynistic. The happiest people I know are the men and women who are in relationships that adhere to traditional dynamics. Now, yes, a woman can do whatever she wants. A man can do whatever he wants. The point I was making is, from my lived experience, the most fulfilled relationships are where the man is doing that which is traditionally, done, the actions traditionally done by the man, and the woman is doing that which is traditionally done by the woman. I'd love to see a counter-argument to the fact that those adhering to traditional dynamics, traditional relationship dynamics, traditional gender roles, I see again and again, they're the ones who are the most fulfilled in life. And they're the ones who are giving the most back to society. They're the ones who are most high output, most productive. So I'm yet to see anyone really be a great example of, I'm following liberalism, I'm following modernity, I identify as a Coke can. I'm yet to see them be really happy and fulfilled in life. I just see a bunch of issues. And I'll be surprised. If you're a child and you're told, hey, wait a sec, you can be a this or a that, a man or a woman, of course you're going to be confused. And there are psychologists, even in Sweden, coming out saying this is damaging for kids. Yeah. So I really think, whether it's conscious or unconscious, I think that's the work of shaitan.
Every avenue of Western society nowadays is a complete fight against Islam. You can honestly summarize it in a few sentences. Liberalism is their deen, it's their religion, it's their way.
And Wokism is the new religion.
Exactly.
Real, yeah.
And their God are their desires. Literally, because a God is anything you obey. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran. Have you seen the one, or he asks, have you seen the person who takes their own desires as their God? Because we were talking about this before. Ibadah, worship, a big part of that is who do you obey? So if your desires say, I want this, I want women, I want to eat that, I want to go there, you desire that and you do it, that's basically like God telling you, go do this, and you're going and listening no matter what, because that's what you obey above everything else.
That's wild too. And you see platforms like Vice pushing pedophilia, pushing drug use. Man, they push drug use so much. What benefit is there to society by pushing the youth into drugs? Tell me that's not evil. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't buy into the whole New World Order. But what I see with my own eyes is leftist media houses, leftist documentary makers pushing this decrepit rubbish onto the minds of the youth. I think it's really damaging. I think it's disgusting.
And they'll claim the opposite, bro. They'll claim that, you know what, it's not a religion. I don't look at it as a god. I'm not worshiping it. But then what are they doing?
You dare speak against it, they'll wage jihad against you. The cancellation thing is real. It's amazing, man.
So let's talk about that a bit. So the whole Matrix cancellation, or attempt, I should say, right? Because I think they utterly failed completely. But their whole attempt, where do you think this stemmed from?
I don't think there's a bunch of big bad leftists sitting around in a room calculating how to destroy masculinity or destroy the family unit. I do think there are certain narratives that take on and just spread like wildfire. Now, if I was a leader of a country, would I want a bunch of free-thinking, strong, banded together brothers? That's a bit threatening, isn't it? However, if I had these weak men who are essentially being owned by their wives, disrespected by their children, too unhappy to really rise up, you could argue that's a good thing if your goal is to control the masses. I think at the end of the day, the less masculine a population is, the easier it is to control. So I think many leaders around the world perhaps have bought into this anti-masculinity drive simply because of control reasons. And again, I don't think it's some globally orchestrated new world order, as far as my opinion, but I just think certain narratives benefit those who are in power. There's a lot more of the masses than there are of, the rulers. Why not make the people as sheepish and as lost and as easily controlled as possible? That's what I see driving the assault on, masculine values, on traditional values, on religion. I don't think you can ever beat Wokism. I think that when the left controls the information flow, Instagram, Hollywood, mainstream media, how are you going to compete against that? The only way to do it, to me, is by those who are open, who have that soft heart to Islam, finding Islam and holding themselves to a different set of morals, holding themselves to a different level of accountability. Instead of trying to please the woke gods by putting their bio in their Twitter handle. They need to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is a lot deeper and a lot more meaningful and a lot bigger value add to society. I saw an amazing study that checked the amount of actual charity work done by liberals compared to the charity done by conservatives. Conservatives give so much more. So again, that was in America. These liberals walking around thinking they're doing something by just basically hating on anyone who doesn't spread their narrative. They're not actually benefiting society. They're not doing anything of value other than spreading negativity.